Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions. And what you see here is proof that, yeah, George Kern got a lot right when he was in charge of IWC, as you're looking at one of the best IWC special edition models ever made, the 2018 stainless steel 500-piece Tribute to Pallweber Edition 150 years. So this watch was part of the 2018 150th anniversary of IWC, and technically it's not a Portugueser, it's not a Portofino, it's not a Pilot. It was sort of a standalone model line. You're looking at a reference that is the 5050-03, and I like that it stayed unique. There hasn't been a follow-up version of it. We haven't seen this movement used again. It showed an incredible sense of occasion by IWC, delivering something that was both unique and of lasting interest to people who really love IWC history and high horology. So you're about to watch the triple jump, and I figure you just missed the minute jump at the beginning of the video, so we may as well stick around for that. This dial, clear and blue lacquered by hand, polished by hand between every step, and there were 12 steps involving application, hand polishing, and curing by heat to create an enamel-like dial designed to reference the Josef Pallweber-based IWC jumping time pocket watches of the late 19th century. And Pallweber designed this system, IWC embraced it, and those pocket watches inspire this wristwatch right down to the design of the dial. It's big, but it's easy to wear in steel, 45 millimeters in diameter, you can see in profile. This watch is 12.1 millimeters thick, which is quite a bit thinner than it looks. And then it's 51.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. We're going to call in my calipers and get a measurement on this, because it's a little bit of a weird measurement. You can see right there, it's 20.1. The way that works, it may look like a wire lug radiometer, but it looks deceptive. It's conventional spring bars in there. The watch features an IWC onion-style crown that's vintage-inspired but has the modern Probus Scafusia logo and motto on it. The wire lug design gives way to a high-grade strap with large rectangular symmetrical scale alligator leather, calfskin on the bottom, and then you can see it's got a little bit of bolstering down the center to add some volume. It has a distressed grain, so it almost has a fractured or cracked look to it, but this is a brand new strap, no crimping, no gouging. High gloss, dark blue. You could see a full clasp, and that the clasp was designed to match the sort of wire lug aesthetic of the watch. So while the clasp internal is like a modern IWC clasp, this is not the buckle generally paired with this clasp. IWC was very careful to make sure everything on this watch matched the sense of occasion of the timepiece. So like I said, 12 layers of lacquer on the dial, both clear and white, applied by hand, hand polished, and then cured with heat. What you've got here are two separate systems and two separate barrels that drive two separate displays. And the movement on the back is exceptionally large, over 37 millimeters in diameter. You can see it's a unique caliber, the 94-200 only ever deployed on this model. So it's got a 60-hour power reserve, and there are two different barrels. Because the jump of, for example, the seconds and the minutes isn't necessarily driven by the same train. So you can see we have these two different barrels. There is a system at the center of the movement that synchronizes both of them so that when the seconds hand reaches the top of its travel, the minutes, which are driven by a separate train and a separate power source, can jump in sync with the seconds. So there's actually quite a bit of sophisticated watchmaking going on behind the scenes with this watch. And it's pretty brilliant in terms of how it works, because when this came out, it was more sophisticated by far than, for example, the Lanka Dotograph, which had a paltry 36-hour power reserve, and while it did feature a remontoire system, this watch doesn't really need it to the same degree that the Lanka did. So we have a 60-hour power reserve, we have a 4 Hz beat rate, we do actually have a stop seconds function, a free sprung balance with an overcoil hairspring, high horology style 5-position adjustment, and then lovely narrow stripes across the bridges. The bevels are mechanically applied but handsome, and so worthwhile, along with the engine turning on the base plate. You can see we have both polished and fire blued screws back here, and this 54 jewel movement Features, for example, solarization on the ratchet wheels and satination on the wheels and the barrel covers, with a solid gold 150-year legend on the back. And this watch was made in 3 different versions: rose gold, steel, and platinum. And there was also a very rare pocket watch version of it. It's completely unique. It's unlike any other modern-day IWC. And it's unlike the old Pallweber pocket watches because it's significantly more sophisticated, and you can wear it on your wrist, and it's everyday durable. 30-meter water resistance, so again, don't swim with it, but the pocket watches historically had no water resistance. This is perhaps the most interesting, worthwhile, and collectible 21st century IWC. And with the blue dial and the steel case, this is the most desirable version of it. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.